So it's the weekend before Christmas, and I'm airing the truck out and the camper out, just going through it and sorting things out, and I thought I'd show you my setup and give you some of the tips, pros and cons about rooftop campers, what you can do to make a camp kitchen and things like that. So a couple of years ago I was lucky enough to see this Triton in the car yard and picked it up for a fairly decent price. It's an ex-mining truck, so it comes with the toolbox either side and all decked out, really ready to go. So that was kind of a So inside we've turned one of the toolboxes into our kitchen and storage area. Really nice and simple, nothing expensive, nothing stainless or anything like that. You can, of course, spend that money if you've got it. But we're just an average family and we try and buy what we can afford. So we found these at Bunnings. These drawers, they're $25 each. Really handy, really deep. They fit a lot in there. The carpet I got actually were tiles from IKEA that I found, and everything has sort of been lifted. I've built a bit of a box frame so that we can lift everything so that it fits into all the compartments. Up here you've got a cooker. Anything that folds is really handy. Obviously when you're camping, that's a bucket with a sink in it so you can wash stuff out. These are from IKEA. They're just little shoe boxes with Velcro on them. But they're really handy for storage areas where you just can't get something in there and you want to contain a lot of things in a little space, so they're great. Over here you got more of the Bunnings stuff. When you're travelling, obviously you want to try and keep stuff locked in. These ones here are up on the doors, so when they're travelling they stay in. These ones tended to slide out, so I've just got a strap, clipped it in. You got things like coffee cups and wine glasses, cleaning, cooking products. Get the lights out of the way. Knife drawer, and then cutlery drawer down there. Also got a bit of a racking system going on here as well. So up here you've got things like stubby coolers, bit of flour for making the old damper. Down here is honey coffee. Key for our drawers if we get lost. Really good storage area up here and up here for fold downable things. Wine bottles fit really well in there. So we were trying to figure out some way of storing our plates and pans and everything without spending millions on stainless steel. Old set of drawers from Cash Converters, I think they cost me 30 bucks. They're bolted into the back of the truck. They're sitting on a bit of a step so we can get past this lip here. Unfortunately, the lock on them's kind of failed, so the drawers were sliding open. But we came up with a really ingenious idea. My wife came up with a good idea, and these are just child locks that you buy at the supermarket. You just press either side, open them up, and there's your drawers. Good handy storage. That's Tupperware in there, foldable Tupperware. This one is your plates and your saucers and things. And then your big bulk items sit in this bottom drawer. I was looking at filing cabinets and all sorts of things, so that all work in this scenario. And they just, they store so much. They're really good. Nothing's thrown about, nothing rattles. And then you've got some side storage down the bottom here. You've got a fry pan, a cooker. You can't go wrong with these little butane burners. A step, another foldable bucket, and a shopping bag in there. So that's basically the kitchen setup at night time. So again, places like Super Cheap and stuff like that are really good for this sort of thing. Just wait for them to have sales. I picked this up on the sales rack for $60. And it was a full set of lights, 4 lights, all the attachments that come with it. Really good little kit. 60 bucks on sale. Can't go wrong. They've got yellow lighting in there, which you might have seen in some of the videos. And they just, I've riveted on a metal bar up here and run my wiring through, and they just magnetise to that bar up there. and they're a daisy chain system, so you just link to the next, to the next, to the next. So that's the kitchen setup. And of course you got the awning to give us some protection from the elements. Again, that awning that was on special at Super Cheap. I think we got it for $70 or $80 on a big sale, one of the COVID sales. Had it on there for a year and a half and it's been fantastic for $70. I always rate things on how long they last, so $70 for a year and a half. That's good money in anyone's term, so I can't complain. And it's not branded. If you come around to the back of the truck, we carry in the back of the truck here. Usually the fridge goes here. So I went down and I brought an XTM for about 120, I think it was. It's a 1.4 by 2, I think, or 2.5, and that just covers the back of my truck. This brand is the brand sort of in my price range that I can afford, and I have no problems with it. They're really good quality for what you pay for. You know, if I get 2 years out of that for $120, I'm a happy boy all day, every day. These awnings, a lot of you will know, you'll just have to watch them in the high winds. You may have to, you know, tie them down, drop them down to sort of protect the holes so they don't bend out, because they are fairly thin aluminium. I mean, it's all Chinese made, so but look after it and it lasts. This back area, tailgate drops down and that turns into my cooking area and my tailgate bar. I've got another light that clips in up here. I thought I'd also do a bit of a review on the Quickie Mark II camper as well. We've had it for a year and a bit now, and we're really enjoying it. It's mainly pros, there are some cons to it, but we'll go through that in a minute. So this is my second toolbox on the other side. I'll open this up. And I've kept this very generic. This is a storage area, mainly for all the camp gear and gold pans lying out there. So you need storage, you need places to put your bags and things like that. I must, if you're carrying butane or anything, you should just have one anyway, but that was $15 at Aldi a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Can't go past that. There's my XTM 160 watt briefcase solar panels. Fantastic buy, you know, $199. They're all fairly generic, but you know, again, it's the brand that I can afford. I think I got it special and got another $10 off it or something. But you know, they crank the amps back into my battery setup really well, so I can't complain on that at all. Again, the brand, for what it's worth, it's good value. With mine, just a little tip, I don't know whether I've shown you, but because they are solar panels, they, you know, look, there's a bit of movement there. You try and pack it so there isn't much, but I've just got a yoga mat from Big W for $15, and I wrap that up in it every time we travel, so that protects the solar panels, and there'll be no disappointment when I go pull them out on the next trip. So my battery setup's very generic as well. It's just a cheap battery box you pick up from anywhere. Did come up with this little neat idea. So these are my light inputs for my wiring. This is a broom stick handle thing from Bunnings. There's a few bucks, but they hold these things really well, so you don't get a big tangle. Let's see if we can get it out. There we go. Just pop it out and you just push it back in, and that'll be there for the whole trip. And I know the wires are there. Bit dirty. Last camp video was a lot of mud. That's a stool and bits and pieces, just storage stuff, and then the chairs and everything, table, all pack into there as well. So there's lots and lots of room. I've also just brought the XTM. Let's see if we can get this out. Might have a play of it on the tyre shortly and do a bit of a review as well. So there she comes. An XTM compressor. I forget what one it is. We'll pull that out and have a look in a minute. So the camper itself is really nifty. It's really easy to do. It's less than a couple of minutes to pull up and pull down for the whole duration. I brought it because A, we wanted to get off the ground out of the swags, and B, we were camping for weekends, so sometimes we were only setting up for one night with groups and friends, and we really wanted to have something that was quick and easy. And you know, you want to enjoy a beer while you watch everyone else fight with tent poles and everything else. So it's been a really good little kit. We brought it on special for $12.99 out of Kings, I think. This is the second generation model. But you're paying about, yeah, 12, 13, 1400 for them at the moment. The prices might be coming down, I don't know. Look, they're not expensive, but they're not cheap either. I mean, that's a fair whack of money for some families. So firstly, the ladder. The ladder's really easy, really efficient. There is one con to the ladder because I'm no spring chicken. I find that this brushed stainless or alloy that they're using is really slippery. So I would probably pay, and I will at some stage go down to Bunnings, just get some sandpaper stickers or some sort of tread stickers and put it on the runs, because it is just a little bit, especially when it's dry, it's a little bit slippery. Okay, so there's one of the awnings up as you come up to it. Coming up over the height is pretty good and easy. Okay, and we're up and in. So to help when you pack it away, there's little lines to pull the canvas in either side. The top, if you're in here during the day, the black top, incredibly hot. But there's lots of ventilation too. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 over my shoulder there. 4 windows to get, you know, get a bit of a breeze going, and it's pretty good. As far as height and room goes in here, well, I'm sitting and I'm just touching the roof, so I'm 6 foot. So in a struggle, you can get changed in here and things, but you can move pretty well too. So yeah, single man swag, there's no room. Double man swag, you're lucky if you can sit up. So yeah, this is fairly good for that. Yeah, the material that they use, good, strong, sturdy. You'll find that it's waterproof in nearly every condition, which is good. These struts in here, they do take up a little bit of room. They are quite intrusive while you're sleeping. So if you can imagine, your head's there and there, your arms are going to hit there and there. One of the ways that we sort of deal with it is we try and slip down a little bit, because this thing's over, yeah, I mean, it's 2 meters long, so unless you're incredibly tall, I'm just under 6 foot, so yeah, it's not an issue for me. You can slip down a little bit and get out of the way of those struts, but they are there to pop the camper up, so there's not much you can do with it, unfortunately. We've really enjoyed it. We sleep really well up here. A couple of the mods that we've done, which I will show you just out of interest. Just a pan, come back the other way. So as I was saying, we're no spring chickens, so we like our little comfort. It comes with a fairly thin mattress. So this is the mattress. I think it's 50 mil. There's not a lot of comfort in that. Okay. So what I've done is I've taken the mattress out, gone all the way to the base, and again, I've just got these ground mats that you join together. I've measured them out, cut them to spec, and I've done 2 layers of them. So there's another layer underneath there. So what are they? They're probably, they'd be 10 mil thick. So I got 20 mil of high density foam underneath me, and then I go to my mattress that was in the actual camper as it came, and then we found that wasn't quite enough, so I went out and just brought some cheap ass foam, laid that down, and then a nice comforter on top. So, you know, look, there's a bit of money thrown on that. The mats I already had, so I saved myself a bit of dollars there. And that goes on top, and that all still closes down when you close it down at night. It's not too hard. You see that the struts eventually mold down into everything that you need it to. Another thing that we had happen is that there's vents up here. Okay, so there it is, there. So these little vents that have stopped condensation on the ceiling, okay? So there's one in every corner, up there, up there, up there, and up there. And all I've done is brought a little bit of mesh, I don't know whether you can see, there we go, bit of mesh, and glued it in place. That part doesn't move, so you can do that. And that just stops the little bugs, mozzies, or anything that's gonna try and fly in to get you at night to get in, but it also stops a bit of the condensation. You know, you still get that reduction of condensation on the roof. You do get a bit of condensation, but it hasn't been to the point where I've woken up and the roof is dripping on me. So that's a good thing. There seems to be enough airflow in here to stop that from happening. I put Velcro up in the corner there, and my light strip just Velcros up, and that's got a port that comes in here. Yeah, overall it's fairly comfortable, it's good. Another thing that we have had happen is we've been camping a few times. Living in Queensland, storm season is always, you know, start setting up for it at the end of August, and by September you're into September, October, November, you're into a bit of a storm season. So this material, although it is waterproof, water with rain and wind pressure, it's like the old canvas. If you touch it, it'll leak. And what we're finding is that the water pressure was pushing, and anywhere the mattress, because we've got those extra layers on, we're touching, because it's raised up out of the tub a little bit. It was touching the material. We were finding that the material was wetting the mattress, and then we were getting a wet bed. So the way around that, my son was a plumber, and I went down to Bunnings and I found this plumbing guard or concrete guard or wet mesh, whatever you want to call it, and it's just a plastic barrier thing, and I've just run a length of it all around the edge of the tent. You'll see it over on this side. It's very hard to see, but there it is there, and it's the height of my mattress and comforter and everything, so when it rains my bed's going to be warm and dry and not wet. So that's a little tip that you may want to need. Being a rooftop camper and being older is a consideration, because you may want to realize that in the middle of the night you might have to clamber over your partner, go down backwards out of the stairs to go to the bathroom. But all in all, the pros outweigh the cons an awful lot. There's plenty of room up here. I'll get back out to show you. There's little shelves, there's little pockets, there's some pockets over there for your keys, shelves, you can run zip ties, anything. We've got fans that we run, we've got lights, we've got light stripping, but we've also got lights, and we've got a double fan system which hook up onto those bars up there, so that when we're sleeping we can get extra airflow going through here. Packed down neat and tidy. You can leave your bedding. The bedding's just off being aired and washed at the moment. You must leave that window open and that window open to pack it down, because as you squeeze it down, obviously you're creating air pressure, and that air has to escape somewhere. So leave them down. Okay, so just out here you'll see the awning system. So it runs up and out. Catches a fair bit of rain and stuff, but we did find when we brought the camper was that these little holes weren't drilled out properly. So there's little imperfections like that that you just got to watch. But that was just this one that we had. So stickers I've added. And there we go. In windy weather, there are straps that you use to pull these down. In windy weather, they do that, which is really annoying. The best thing that we do is we just roll them up and zip tie them up right up the top there. I can stand on the back of my ute and do that. At the front, I can hook it over a bar, so it's not too much of an issue. We had a Velcro system where you'd Velcro it there, but it was still slapping against the canvas. So my recommendation would be that you just roll them up. Just get some little Velcro straps like that. Roll them up or zip tie them up. And then when you're ready to rock and roll, just cut them out and away you go. So that's my little setup. I hope you enjoyed. And enjoy Christmas. Have a good Christmas and get out there and go camping. Enjoy.